Okay, so based on the title of how it says an in-depth review of these, rather than this, an in-depth of the Tower regular, I did not want to do a third week in a row with this guy because I've already done two, so we're moving on to these. So let's move on and show all of these. Okay, so this was basically a last minute idea I had for like this week since I didn't post one last week, but I didn't want to do another clock video because either it's Sunday I'm either getting a bracket or grandfather. I don't know which one. I don't even know if I'm going to get a clock. I think I am going to get one Sunday, another one which will be next week's video maybe, but we'll see. So moving on. So this is an in-depth of 3 clocks. First one is the Westinghouse. The second is the Seth Thomas Pocket, and then the third one is the little Seth Thomas time-only clock, and then the fourth one is the little Westclock Pocket Band clock. So moving on, this is the case for this one. This is the outer one, the outer door for it. And the case is right here, which this thing, it's got to be at least like 40 or 50 years old basically, because that's fun. I have no idea how old this is, but judging on how ancient it is, it's pretty old. And also, yeah, that's pretty rusty. Worse over here. So that's pretty old. I don't know when it is. So let's start off with the little Seth Thomas mini clock right here. So I made it a little short about this in the past, but I wanted to actually go in depth about this a little bit. Turn it around. You see? Right there. Made in USA from Seth Thomas. 103C, if my camera could focus. A slow and a fast to adjust it to as fast as you want or as slow as you want. Right around here is where it likes to run best. And the way you wind it is you I don't have a key for it, so one way I wind it is I just grab it like this and then just turn it, which turns this gear to turn this gear. And this is a little safety gear to stop it from like not really overwinding, but to stop it, because if I was to do this, it would actually destroy the spring. And then right here is a little piece that actually you can move the hands rather than the glass. But one little thing that's annoying about this is to get it right. Yeah, it's spring loaded. So you're pushing it in too much, it won't do anything. You pull it out, it won't do anything. You have to get it just right to where it will actually move the hands. Little dumb feature, but oh well. So I actually don't have an idea on when this was. The only marking in here that I know of is right here. And that says K1448, so maybe 1948 or something. I have no idea. This thing is pretty old, but let's get a look at that little balance wheel. Pretty awesome. So I'll move it up so you can see it a little better. You can see the pallet escapement right there, if I'm saying that correct. Right there. Then the little pin that moves it back and forth. Running a bit low on power. Let me fix that. That's better. See all the little gears. Eventually drives to this main spring, which I believe this is only like a 3-day or something, because these things are not supposed to last for long. But I still don't know what year this is, but like let's just move on. So next one is the little Seth Thomas one, and yes, the dial is ruined, and yeah, I caused that from too much oil, unfortunately, all this darkening area of this brown. This used to be white, but it's dark. It's ruined, so oh well. This one has a little alarm feature on it. This is where you wind it with the little crank, if I can find it. I don't know where it went. It's right around right here where you wind it. This one is for the little alarm, and this one is actually for the time. And here's the balance wheel. Oh my. So then minus that. Now back to looking for this. I still don't know what year this is, but here it is right here. Made in Brazil. I have no idea what the rest of that says. Unadjusted 0 joules. This has an alarm feature on it. Activated right there. Moves in and out. Which I'll just show real quick. Me activating it. And then here's what it was like if I would place this on top. Wrong way. Hit around here. Hang on. So here's it on loosely, and here's what it would sound like. It's pretty loud. So then here's what it's like activated, and after it runs out of mainspring power. It's out of power. I'll activate it once more again on a full wound. So then here it is again on a full wind. Pretty cool. So then here is the little balance wheel. As you can see, this is running a little fast. Sorry, my fingernails are disgusting right now. Let's use this instead. See, the spring is moving in and out really healthy. Much more healthier than this right here. And this is fully wound. I've fully wound this, and this thing's on its last legs, but we'll move on to this later. So then right here, sticking with the tradition of plastic chime barrels, plastic snail, and plastic gear, we now have plastic gears. But this, there's no screws, because you see that? That's a rivet. This is a riveted movement. Cheap, ineffective movement. This is probably the most recently made movement, since this thing is actually pretty new, I guess, but oh well, it's not that bad. So this is one of them. Now let's move on to this one. So then this is the Westclock Pocket Ben. I don't know what year this one is. All I know is made in USA. The only thing I could tell is a marking right here that my camera would focus. It says 55, and then right here is a 2. I'm thinking that says 2-55 maybe. I could be wrong, but right over here it says made in USA. There's like a few scratches right over here, and then you're fast and slow, and this thing's cranked up all the way to fast, because here's what would happen if I move it all the way down to slow. It would just basically give up. So move it all the way to fast, try to get it to run, and this thing is basically failing me for now, since I don't wind it much anymore. And basically, I think someone tried to oil this and it's just gummed up. And I don't repair watches. I just oil clocks and I keep them in a collection. I call it good enough. But this is only something I only run every once in a while. But the funny thing is that when this was gifted to me by my cousin, they said is that don't mess with the paint because it has Ravenite in it, like all this, like this one does, or like this one does, for an example, or like this one right over here does. It has that all over the place, and because it's actually like cancerous if I mess with the paint. But I don't. Here's my opinion to this. I don't think it's because of that, because I've touched this before and I've not gotten cancer or anything yet, which you shouldn't. That's actually pretty dangerous. But I think because of how old this is, that might be a lead dial. That might be why, because lead is a highly cancerous thing. Lead poisoning is no joke. So that's why I'm thinking this is probably mixed with radianite and lead to be more cancerous than what this is right here, because I could touch this and I wouldn't get cancer that badly, but this, I don't mess with the paint here, so yeah. So just trying to run this a little bit. It just stays mostly just hanging up here. It's really cute. I do like it, and it was a nice gift. So with this one, let's move on to the finale of the Westinghouse. Okay, so then this is the Westinghouse travel clock. So this one has a built-in AM radio only with a clock, an alarm, and a sleep. Here's how you activate the alarm. You move it up, and then you hear the click. So one more time, just listen for the tiny click. Right there, and that activates the alarm. You can move it all the way up, all the way down. And then the sleep is basically initiated off this from 0 to 60. Basically how long you want to let it sleep for. And it's spring loaded apparently. Up until there. It's pretty awesome. This was made in Japan. This clock is jeweled, which is really nice. And the back of this, it kind of looks like old circuitry, like my father used to say. Like my grandpa from my father's side, he was like I think he was an electrician or something. I don't remember, but he like this reminds me of my father. He basically reminds me of like all those circuits he used to work on. And then here's the actual clock itself. Now I can't take it out sadly, because it would be too much of a pain to do it. So unfortunately, that's really the best you guys can get. I will demo the alarm for you guys, but before that, I will demo the AM radio.
A couple hundred were found adopted homes. Just this year, she took in another group situation, about 40 in that case. Their medical kit.
Pretty awesome. And then one cool feature about this is you were able to turn the alarm, and it would actually activate the radio in whenever you set the alarm to. Plus this alarm. So let me get it route set real quick and I'll activate it. So here's how you activate it. You move it up, and then let's camera focus. Pretty awesome. This one's a really nice one. This actually has I think a more modern movement, because unlike to where you have to manually go and move it like this one, or like this one to where you have to adjust it, this one you're able to adjust it basically with a little screw, which this one's actually, it always runs behind, so I'm going to move it a little bit. Should be better. So, like, this is inside of the 3 mini clocks. I'm most of the time just rambling, just exploring them. So, from a Seth Thomas to Westinghouse to a Pocket Bend to another Seth Thomas, and this was a little Hermley balance wheel that's now fallen. So, anyways, I'm sorry that this is basically just a random video put together, but I hope you guys enjoy. So, with that, I'm gonna say thank you for watching.